In the mink anterior medial hindland limbs, we first have the sartorius, gracilis, and the tensor fascia latae. And according to this image right here, as you can see, the sartorius, gracilis, and tensor fasciae latae all fall within an inferior pattern where the tensor fasciae latae is the most deep muscle, and this muscle really differs from the other muscles simply because there's a lot of white, strong connective tissue that is binding the muscle together, while rather the sartorius and gracilis all have not so thick or thin, not so thick muscles or connecting fibers that are connecting together, but rather have much more thin. So that is really a distinction between them. Next, we have the vastus medialis, the vastus lateralis, and the rectus femoris. This also follows an inferior pattern where the rectus femoris first, and then the vastus lateralis, and then you have the vastus medialis at the bottom. The vastus medialis and the vastus lateralis all have white connective tissue, so that's how they pretty much differ from the rectus femoris, concerning the fact that they're also also located near the tensor latae fascia. And then in the last image we have here is the adductor semimembranous and semitendinosus. In this image right here, you can see that it first goes the adductors, then the semimembranosus, and then the semitendinosus. These are located mainly at the posterior view of the leg, and are all superficial in structures. First, for the physiological function of the sartorius, gracilis, and tensor fasciae latae, the sartorius for the mink helps rotate the leg into a sitting position, and for the pig it helps adduction and rotation of femur. For the gracilis, it adducts thigh at hip and flexes leg at knee, and for the pig, it adduction and retraction of thigh. Lastly, for the tensor fasciae latae, it helps immediately rotates and flexes thigh, and for the pig, it also extends the shank. From right here, the information kind of leads the idea that minks itself must use much more energy in terms of their muscles, maybe due to the more harsher conditions of their environment, and that's because of through the idea that the tensor fasciae latae might be working to another extent in the mink, but might play not as an impactful role in the pig. Next, in the comparative anatomy for the vastus medialis, the vastus lateralis, and rectus femoris in the pig and mink, it says in the mink it is involved in knee extension and correct contraction of the patella, while in vastus lateralis it extends knee joint and moving leg and flexes the knee, and these kind of same kind of physiological functions are present in both the pig and mink, which doesn't reveal a lot of the environment and may show that a lot of their muscles do in fact work together on some extent. Lastly, we have the adductors, the semimembranosus and semitendinosus, and these also perform similar functions. For example, in the mink, for the adductors, adduct and laterally rotate the leg, while in the pig, it helps with adduction on the knee. And that kind of shows that the adductors, for example, help both play some kind of role in the knee, which may show that there might not be as different in their environments, or the way their mobility is, the way that they function, the mobility as others might perceive.